And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our continued coverage here at Ranger Station. I almost said Power Morphicon right there. That was 3 weeks ago, and I was doing interviews there. No, but we are here at Ranger Station in Philadelphia, and I'm being joined by Maxx. Maxx is one of the vendors here at the show. Maxx, tell us about yourself, buddy.
Well, thank you. I'm following on Instagram as XX Studios and XX Studios 21 on TikTok. I've been a cosplayer since 2011, and I'm also a good friend of Lady J, who is running the show here at Ranger Station. So when I found out she was creating a Power Ranger convention in Pennsylvania, of course I was one of her first supporters, and I've been with her since the first one.
Yeah, so you're all 4 years so far.
Technically...
Hey, sir. Yep. But anyways, continue. So you've been here for all 4 years.
Yes, I actually was supposed to be here last year, but unfortunately, I got strep throat and I wasn't able to attend.
But you're here in spirit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Power Rangers. In fact, if two things that I love most watching is Power Rangers and anime. So.
And I noticed right here you're wearing the Lightspeed Rescue jacket.
Yep.
Tell us about this jacket. How did you procure it? And
oh, absolutely. This very high quality Lightspeed Rescue jacket I procured from Sentai Jackets. It's a marketplace online that are specialized in Power Ranger and Super Sentai memorabilia, from jackets and costumes to even bracelets and jewelry. They have a great line. Some of it has been pretty pricey and even out of stock, especially in the Gokaiger lineup, but you can still actually get these Lightspeed Rescue jackets and the various patches for all 6 Rangers for about $600 in the market price.
So you hear that? $600 for a present for Ben. And obviously earlier you came to the table, you did a presentation to our friend Ben of the Lightspeed Rescue Morpher. Tell us about that a little bit.
Well,
and then we'll go into more about the stuff that you do.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I was lucky to find some near mint, only like small scratch Lightspeed and titanium morphers on eBay. I'm often always scouring for new collectibles to attribute. And it's actually crazy because I showed up with my Lightspeed morpher and my titanium morpher in a nice presented case. I got so much attention at my table, even though I don't really have many banners. And there was one guy who was actually offering me upwards to $500 just to buy both these guys. I'm like, that's a great offer, but
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't. There are those items that we have, and we will just never part with them. You could offer us like $1 million, and it's like, no, I could really use that $1 million, but I am not parting with this because this is something that's important to me.
Oh yeah, it's one of those collectibles that you just have to hold on because you know you'll never get back.
Yeah. So you're here as a vendor. Mm-hmm. Tell us what you do, man.
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm a cosplayer. I've been so since 2011, and I've often tried to improve myself as far as how I present myself and offer assistance to the community. I actually have been with a group called the Amazing Spiderlings, and we've had times in which we've helped donate back to the community of Philadelphia, and even present ourselves and entertain kids at the Children's Hospital Philadelphia. So mostly as a cosplayer, I look to do more to give back to community, and also just have a lot of fun just dressing up in the casual wear and of course the sweaty spandex type of stuff.
What is one of your greatest moments doing one of those events where you're like at a children's hospital or something like that in cosplay? What's one of your favorite moments?
Oh, it had to be back when I was around, it was the weekend when I met Jason David Frank. I met him on Sunday in a special VIP event back I think in 2015 or so. But the day before, I was dressed up as his Black Ranger, from Dino Thunder. And when I was dressed up with that, even without the helmet fitting me, there was this 5-year-old kid who, no, 3-year-old kid who walked up to me saying how, and his parents were like, he loves Power Rangers, can you get a picture with him? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So the fact that, little kids wanted to have a picture with me because I was dressing up as some of my favorite heroes, it really brought a moment to my heart and thought, I love cosplaying and the fact that, I can make a kid smile.
That's always a good thing because it's like, I know like kids in the children's hospitals, they're going through a rough time, and it's like, to be able to have that moment to like, forget about what they're going through and just have that moment of pure joy. It's always a good thing to do, so.
And the moment, as I love going to Ranger conventions even more because there's something about like the acting community of those who have been in the Power Ranger franchise that just hits different, and there's a lot more of a relaxed type of mentality as opposed to, the more bigger conventions where there's super long lines and you can only say hi to Tom Holland for like 10 seconds, These are, I feel, a lot more personal.
Yeah, like the one thing I know, like Karen said on the Mighty Morphin panel, it's like, this is like when you see a convention like Ranger Station, Power Morphicon, Ranger Stop, More Phenomenal Expo, they're more like family reunions for all the Rangers, and I think that's what gives it that more laid back, welcoming vibe that these type of conventions have. Whereas like if we're at an Awesome Con, a San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, Baltimore Comic-Con, one of those major, bigger conventions, it's just hustle, 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 rush, 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 and you don't get that, you don't get that satisfaction sometimes, when you're there, because it's like you're trying to cram so much into 3 days, and here, yeah, granted, you're trying to cram in a lot of stuff in one day, but it still feels very relaxed compared to going to one of those bigger shows.
Oh, absolutely.
You can follow up with more with us. Kidding with you.
But yeah, I do agree. I agree with you. That's why I like to support smaller conventions because there's a lot more laid back and there's a lot more connection with it. I actually went down to the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Oaks and for the Liberty Comic Con, which was also very small, but I also met some great anime voice actors from my favorite shows.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing. Like I used to call one convention my last con of the year because it's a 3-day con, and it's in New Jersey. It's a DerpyCon.
Oh.
I'm taking, and this is the first time I'm saying it publicly, but I'm actually taking this year off from the convention, just because I need a break. And it only brings in like 2,500 people. It's a very small convention. It's a relaxed convention, and I like using that convention as my last con of the year because I don't have to stress out too much about doing things. Like, as you see here, I'm working. I'm running around trying to get people for interviews. It's like it's a stressful thing, and I can tell, like, as a cosplayer, it can be that way too for you as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There are times, and I had years in which I just basically didn't go to any con, and then just went to just regular events as myself. It can be a bit taxing, but when you have moments and meeting great people, it's all the worthwhile just to try again one more year.
So, well, Max, we're up on time. Real quick, tell the people where they can find you on social media again, bud.
You can find me on social media, Instagram, XX Studios, TikTok, XX Studios 21. You can also find my YouTube page of the same name. Thank you so much for having me.
Max, it was a pleasure. Thanks for coming on. Stay tuned for our continued coverage. And we're just going to keep shaking hands as the camera cuts off.
May the power